from JK Fiber Arts. Happy Independence Day for those of you in America watching. This is TDF stage 6. I'm already starting to lose track of the stages, but there has not been a rest day yet. So this is stage 6, and I wanted to spin something of mine today since we started off with 2 commercial tops. This is my Mountain Lake is the version I have on my website for sale, which does not have the silk noil. It's really smooth. I like texture a lot. So I have the silk noil in the one I made for myself, and I also made it jumbo sized. So it's 150 grams, which is like, I don't know, 5.3-ish or so ounces. So we have here this is going to be a 3-ply fractal spin. So this is the long repeat, so you can see that we have the blue into the green and so on and so forth. And then the medium repeats are these cute little mini bats, which look like thick Rolags. I love them. And these will be our medium length repeats, and we'll show you a couple ways to spin those. And then we have our Rolags, which are the short repeats. So I think let's start with, I usually don't spin them in order because I love Rolags. I usually do the short one first, but let's do the long one first today. And then we'll get all 3 of these spun up, and we'll get it plied, and it will be awesome. Let's get going. We are ready to spin. I'm using my standard flyer with a standard bobbin, and I am on my standard whirl, but the smaller one in the standard whirl. So I have a higher ratio. The ratio is how many times my flyer goes around in relationship to 1 revolution of the wheel. Since this is predominantly merino, I'm going to have a higher ratio because the merino takes more twist. Let's see what we got here. Well, that doesn't sound right. Something ain't right. Thinking I don't have enough draw, maybe, huh? What the heck? Oh, I see. Haha. See? Part of this is troubleshooting, and I'm like, why is this loose? And that's because this is not tightened down the whole way. Somehow I managed to not do that. All right. Redo. It's good to see these things so you now know how to fix them. There we go. So we are off and running here. And I haven't really decided how I'm going to spin it. So this is a woolen prep. So the fibers, woolen prep means that the fibers are not aligned. However, when you do drum carding, you're typically doing a from top, and if I'm doing it from top, top is already pretty aligned fibers. Oh, that looks so pretty. I love that. I think that's gonna look great 3-ply. And so even though this is a woolen prep, it's got a lot of the fibers aligned. So this is gonna be in pretty good firm yarn, and if I spin it worsted, it's going to be really good. So I'm thinking short forward draw. I have another bat that I'm going to do long draw, so we'll do woolen prep, woolen spin. So we're going to call this woolen prep-ish, worsted spin-ish for me because I always forget what I'm doing. So this is around a 14 to a 16 WPI. I'm thinking I want to stick more with the 16. So let's shoot for the 16. And this is a very good beginner technique. So the drafting triangle is right here. So this is the drafting triangle right there. And what you never want to have happen is you don't want the twist to come up into the triangle. If the twist comes up into the triangle, that's when you have trouble because it gets all twisted up and then it doesn't draft very well. And that's important even more so when we're talking about long draw. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this short forward draw with this, and because I'm taking such short little bites here, the twist is going to accumulate pretty rapidly, and I'm probably already going a little bit shorter than I wanted. If you want to spin thicker, you just draw more fiber out of the drafting triangle. This is pretty thick for me though. So usually I like to really pull it out and do like a nice long draw. So this is a little bit thinner and a little more tightly spun. So I'm actually going to switch this up a bit. I think I'm going to switch to my larger whirl so that my wheel ratio is a little bit lower. So my treadle, I can still treadle the same speed, but the wheel goes slower, and that gives me less twist. And I have my draw the same, so we're going to see if I like this. I usually don't show you guys all this part, but since this is Tour de Fleece, I'm going to let you have all my secrets here. Mostly because the editing is going to be very minimal on these. Get to see all of the warts. I still feel like this is too much twist. Yeah, look at how crazy twisted that is. That's too much. That's like rope. I don't like that. So I am going to do less twist. And for that, I'm just going to start getting it in the, I'm just going to go a lot faster, and it's going to feed into the orifice faster. It's going to get onto the wheel faster. So a true worsted spin is when you have no twist between your hands. So if the twist comes up into here, then that's considered not a true worsted spin. So the inchworm, the short forward draw, is a true worsted spin, which is what we're going to try to do for this whole thing. There we go. So you can see here, other than the fact that I just slid my hand down and pinched it all together, darn it. Struggle is real. The struggle is real for video. Especially with this new 2-angle thing. I'm trying to figure it out and having some difficulties with it. There you go. So you can see that, and I do love this, this ply back. This is the easiest way to start. If you're a beginner at spinning, I would recommend this. There's very little in the way of technical difficulties with drafting this way. And this is known as the inchworm technique. And this is not very hard to draft out. It's just a very light pinch. Now when we get to spinning the rollags, I'm gonna have some trouble because I don't know if I can do short forward draw on a rollag, because I like to spin from the fold, or I mean I like to long draw on rollags. It's just very second nature to me. But we're gonna try to stay pure to the design, which is Woolen prep worsted spin. So we can see the difference in all these yarns as we go along. All right, so I'm going to continue on with this, and then what I'll do is I will show you guys all 3 bobbins when we're finished. We'll just do a little touch of forward draw with the rollags, and I'll show you the way I like to spin the medium repeats. I think there's more than one way to do it. It just depends on how you like it. Next up, we have our mini bat. I just love the mini bats so much. And this one's really cute because I made it bigger, so it's not very, very thin. Some of them are pretty thin. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna open it up here in my lap. Well, I don't want to open it the whole way because there's 2 ways you can do this. Well, there's probably more than 2, but there's 2 ways that I would do this. And that is, you can either just open it up and peel the strips off. And I think that's the way I'm going to do it today because I'm not spinning long draw. If you want to spin long draw, so then all you do is just peel the strips off and then you just spin the strip. However, my favorite way to do it is you spin it like a giant rollag, and I just floof up the end and I just spin right from the end and just keep going. And I usually like to do long draw for that, just whoop. But because we're doing this worsted, we will not do it that way. Today, I will just pull a chunk off. So we're gonna strip it. And I'm just gonna tear the blue off of here. And I'm gonna try not to take any of the green with it. I'm gonna leave a little bit of the blue strip on the green, and that'll be my kind of transition zone. But I'm mostly trying to leave the green behind right now. All right, so I'm going to spin it like this. And then I'll spin the green, and then we'll get into the very light green and blue. And we're gonna spin this the same way as we did the other one, the long single, except this is gonna come off, isn't it? No, I guess not. I didn't think it was holding onto the leader, but it was. All right. So we're gonna spin this the same way. We're doing the short forward draw. I'm gonna try to stay around that 16 single. In fact, I'm gonna check early and check often on this one because my other one got a little thin. So this is a very straight, this is the, now I'm back to that 14, 16. The question is, can I maintain it? Oh, see, this is looks a lot thicker. I need to get back to the 16. So this needs to be a touch thinner. I went too far the other direction, but look at how pretty it is. So the 16 is great. Up here where it was more like a 14 is a little fat. So we're gonna shoot for a better consistency and get that 16 in there. And the way we join, actually, maybe this is a good time to show you that other way that I've been trying and I haven't really decided I love yet, but it's makes sense to join this way. But you flip up both your ends here, and it's almost like core spinning, where you spin and then you let the twist kind of come up in and you catch some of these fibers, and then it just joins right in like that. And it's supposed to give you a much smoother join without like any lump. I'm not super great at it yet. I gotta practice it more. There you have it. Look at that. Let's check that angle apply. I like it. It's nice and soft. It's probably around 25 or 20 is my guess. Let's see what we have. So this is, we're looking in the S quadrant, and we are, yeah, it's about 20. Just a little bit more than the 15, just a touch over the 15. I'm going to continue on, hopefully doing it exactly like this for the rest of this medium repeats. I do love the Tweety bits. I love the silk and oil. It's so pretty. I will be back with the short repeats here as soon as I finish this one. Here we have our short repeats. And let me just say, this is so much easier than stripping top, which we'll be doing for a fractal spin later in the tour. I think first we'll do the Woolen prep, then I'll do the fractal. We'll do the Woolen prep, Woolen spin next, and then we'll do the fractal. Let's see what we get here. And recently, I like to follow Mary at Camage Fiber Arts, and she did one where she did a woolen prep and a worsted prep and applied them together. So it was like comb top spun worsted and a bat spun woolen, and the resulting fiber was interesting because you could see that the puffs, so where it blended, the worsted fiber, worsted spin is a firmer, less poofy yarn, and that made the woolen stick out more. So it's kind of a more textured thing. I'm not 100% sure that I want to do that. It was interesting. I'm not sure that I want to do it though, but it was an interesting look. It was a good, it was a very good demonstration of the difference in the yarn between woolen and worsted prep. I know I've done some side-by-side stuff, but I've never specifically done woolen for the sake of, applying it with a worsted just to see what it looks like. I'm not sure about like the wear and stuff like that, but it looked really pretty. I mean, it was interesting. But if you want to see that, she did have that up on her page. Oh shit. Okay. What do I always tell you? Make sure you spin everything from the same end. And what did I do? I was chatty, and I was loving this silk, and I started spinning from the wrong end. Bugger. Well, doesn't matter. It's not that far in. I'm just gonna flip it around. It still gives you a short repeat. When you see the final yarn, see if you can spot it. The one place where it's not the same repeat. I do try to make the rollags weigh within a couple of grams of each other. I typically am trying for rollags that weigh between 6 and 8 grams for the kits because it's less than doing like an all rollag set, where then the rollags can be like 8 or 9 grams. I think is reasonable for that. Man, I was really into that green too. Oh well. Yeah, not bad, but it's a little stiff. So let's get less in that. That is the advantage to the rollag. So I can just kind of take that twist out, and now I can do it. Now it's not enough, but that's okay because I'm going to put it onto the wheel and I can add twist back in. I like this bit right here, but now you can see it's a lot softer. And that trick only works when you spin in rollags, where you can get to the end of the rollag, because you can't take the twist out if you have a whole big thing of top in your hand. It's very difficult to untwist the whole thing. All right. Here we have our 3 singles: long repeat, medium repeat, short repeats. Looking good. I will be back tomorrow and we will get these plied right up. Until next time, spin.